Welcome to a demonstration of the FDR Reporter 2.2. In today's demonstration, we're going to be talking about some of the basic functions of the FDR Reporter. These functions will include archiving, the recording process, confidence monitoring, and how to stop the recording and archiving processes.
Before I start the demonstration, here's a picture of the CD-ROM drive that will be referenced later. Here's a picture of a microphone. You want to make sure all the microphones are on and working before starting the recording process. And here's a picture of the controller for a PA system. Some may have this and some may not. Look for the FDR Reporter shortcut on the desktop. Double click on it. A splash screen appears. Then the recording panel shows up. There's a simulated CD on the front of it. If you insert a blank CD into the drive of the computer, after a few seconds that CD will disappear, showing that the CD has been inserted. Right now it says drive is empty. Okay. Now that the CD is in the drive, you can click on Start Archiving. That's a little button down here that looks like an eject button. It says stop or start archiving when you mouse over it. So we've started archiving. The archive light turns green, which means that archiving is ready to begin. When some audio is recorded, it will automatically be written to the CD. As the audio is being written to the CD, this light will turn red. Additionally, you can right click on that light and click what's this, and it tells you what the different colors mean. The same can be done for several different controls on the recorder. To the left of the light is a message that tells how many megabytes are remaining on the CD. If you click on that message, it will tell you how many hours are remaining. Click on it again. It tells you the percentage of space used on the CD. And then there's a graphical representation of how much audio is already on the CD. I prefer the hours remaining. Let's begin recording. Click on the red button. It says start recording. And the clock begins to count. Notice also that the red archive light comes on, showing that there is audio being written to the archive media. We know the recorder's on because the clock is counting, but that does not mean that there is audio being recorded. To find out if there is audio being recorded, we need to do something called confidence monitoring. That is done by taking the headset that is plugged in to the headset port on the computer and listening to it as it's being recorded. What you hear through the headset should be audio at about a half a second delay. It's not audio direct from the microphones, but is audio that is being played back from the hard drive after it's recorded. The level of that audio can be adjusted with this volume control here on the right. There are 4 lights here that represent the 4 channels of recording. confidence monitoring can be isolated to any one of those 4 channels to make sure that each channel has audio on it. Okay, while it's recording here, I'm going to go through some of the buttons. Here's a button called Switch to Compact View. That allows you to make the recorder small while it's running so that you can have plenty of space to work on the screen. It can be brought back to full size by clicking the button on the right hand side of the compact view, which says switch to normal view. The button to the right of that says enable always on top. That allows you to have other programs running and work in other programs, and at the same time keep the recorder on top of the other program. This is the location name and date. If I right click on that and say what's this, it'll tell you that this display identifies the recording location and date. Same is true with anything on the record panel. If you go to FTR Gold Properties in the Record Panel tab, you can change the location name for whatever reason. Usually that does not need to be changed. Let's go through stop recording. You stop recording by clicking on the black button. It then brings up a screen asking if you're sure you want to stop recording. Click yes, and the recording stops. Notice that the archive media is not being written to. Now we can stop archive process. Click on the same button that you used to start the archiving, and it says it brings up a screen that says, are you sure you want to stop archiving? Click yes, and you have a choice here that says, do you want to write protect this disk and eject, or do you intend to archive more audio to this disk? We want to archive more audio to this disk, so we're going to choose that and click OK. That automatically causes your disk to eject, and then you can use it the next time you record. Now, when you're done with the disk, you want to choose the other option, which closes the CD for storage. After the CD is closed for storage, it should be checked on a computer that does not have a CD writer and played back on a computer that does not have a CD writer to make sure that each day that some audio from each day can be heard off the CD. Thanks for listening.